Hello, my name is Michael David Harrison. I'd like to wish all you Christians a happy Easter. I'd like to wish all the Jewish people a happy Pesach, and I would like to wish all the Muslims a happy Ramadan. I just learned yesterday that they all fall within the same week for like the first time in 33 years. It does not happen very much. It almost seems a little bit Masonic, doesn't? So if you guys are getting a twinge from that 33, I'm about to bury you in some threes, fours, and fives. If you saw my last video, I said some incredibly crazy things that I will elaborate on in the future, but I also made a couple mistakes that I need to clarify right now. I was born on May 11th, 1978, which makes me Taurus. My mother was born on August 27th, 1956. That makes her a Virgo, or she was a Virgo. My father was born on July 27th, 1955, and that makes him a Leo, or he was a Leo. I was reborn on April 5th, 2021, as Aries. That is my name, but I'm also an Aries. So I am both a Taurus and an Aries. And as we all know, the Aries zodiac is a ram, which is a male sheep. And specifically, I am a black sheep. I know I am a white man, but I assure you, I am a black sheep, which is really just another name for an exile. All right, now we got to go back through some of the math stuff from my previous video. I'll show you guys the equations and the tiles again at the end of this segment, but I assure you I did not luck into these things. Elaborating on what I spoke about in my previous video, on February 28th, 2021, which would have been my parents' 45th anniversary, somehow I got connected to what is called the Akashic Library. You may all call it the Akashic Records, but that makes it sound like a single book. It's not a single book, it's a library. It's being connected to God. In a nutshell, being connected to the library is kind of like gaining 1,000% clarity, 1,000% intelligence. For me, 1,000% ambition, which all kind of translate to 1,000% self confidence. So, in that mind state, exactly 2 years and 39 days ago, I was totally convinced that those tiles I showed you were related to the Riemann hypothesis and I could use them to solve it. And that's what I set about doing. At the moment, I have roughly half a terabyte, 500 gigs of information, mostly Apple spreadsheets, but screenshots that detail my entire journey basically from February 28th, 2021 into the present. My next step is to download it all on Google Drive and then upload it so you all can see it. I just haven't done it yet because I don't know how. I have to figure out how to do it. I also have over 2 years of handwritten work of various kinds. I am a geometer. I need to scan it and upload it as well. That's going to take some time. I also have a fair amount of stickies to scan as well. It's just part of my process. Here's a stack of them. And actually, if you guys want to know like some of my power over the primes, the side. Yeah, that equation will do it for you. If you type that into a spreadsheet and then you'll be like, why exactly does this work? You'll get some real Leonard Euler vibes. Okay, again, as I promised earlier, I'll show you my tiles and equations again real quick. This is tile A. This is tile B. This is my equation for a perimeter of an ellipse. Johannes Kepler would have loved to have this. And this is my equation for pi. I hate to bury the lead here, but I have an infinite amount of these that are infinitely closer to pi as well. So why is God making such a big deal about the math stuff? Well, it's kind of like God saying, if you can't prove this guy wrong on the math stuff, then maybe you shouldn't totally discount him on the God stuff either, for the following reason. I graduated from Iowa State in 2004 with a degree in materials engineering. It's a hybrid degree. It's half metallurgy, half ceramic engineering. I was not a very good student. I graduated with a 2.0000 something something something. Almost prime, not quite. So, with all due respect, if ye all cannot prove me wrong, or at least figure out how I came up with my equations, then ye all have zero business questioning me on the God stuff. And now, finally, back to Judaism, as I realize I did not totally elaborate on my claims as Mashiach in my last video, although in my defense, I only had 12 minutes for that video for some obviously prophetic reasons. All right, in Judaism, there are a laundry list of the qualities of Mashiach, but there are really only two requirements. Okay, firstly, the Mashiach must be a son of David, or a son from the house of David, or a descendant of King David, or a descendant of the royal line of the house of David. It's translated into many different ways, but ultimately it's implied that the Mashiach has to be a biological descendant of King David. That being said, most modern rabbis would agree that King David and his son Solomon, both being two of the most prolific baby daddies in history, anybody could be related to King David. The second part is much more important because it states that the Mashiach will bring world peace. The Mashiach will bring this world peace through a four-step process which begins with what is called proclaimed Mashiach, which was the day of revelation, which was 3 days ago. After this, and after some certain events, the proclaimed Mashiach will become the presumptive Mashiach. I have foreseen this. And after other events, there is a day when the presumptive Mashiach becomes the King Mashiach, sometimes known as the ultimate Mashiach. I have foreseen this as well. But again, let's call all that part of the process world peace. The true Jewish prophecy is this: his second given name shall be David. He shall be named after his father. He shall be named after your king, and he shall embody him, at least his good parts. He shall bring the Jewish people their Geula and the whole world peace. His first given name shall be Michael. He shall be named after the archangel Michael. He shall be named after your prince, and he shall embody him. Even after the Michael revelation, I know there's some Jewish watchers that are saying it's still not enough. He still must be one other, for we are exiles. He cannot be Mashiach unless he is Moshe Rabbeinu. Maimonides told us himself. For the rest of you, that means Moses, our teacher. Moshe means Moses. Rabbeinu means our teacher. But even more so, he has to be more than Moshe Rabbeinu, because Moshe wasn't Mashiach. He must be Moshe 2.0. Well, lucky for you all, I'm not Moshe 2.0. I'm Moshe 3.0. For my true Moshe name is, I drew him from earth, then I drew him from water, then I drew him from fire. All right. Although we don't have enough time to get into my exact reincarnation and all of the 3s and 3, 4, 5 stuff that I promised earlier, I apologize. It's only because none of my videos can last more than 12 minutes. So instead, let us then analyze how unique I am, as vain as it sounds, just on name recognition and the prophecies I've told you. My given names are Michael and David. I'm a son of David. I was born on May 11th, which is the mean and average of all Mother's Day. My parents were married on February 28th. There are 36 days between February 28th and April 5th, and 36 days between April 5th and May 11th. Okay, first the name stuff. I looked it up. To be named Michael or David, it's about the same odds. It's about 1 in 225. So, therefore, if you are a man named Michael David and a son of David, the odds are about 1 in 1.11.4 million. All right, now the dates. For you to be a man to be born on May 11th, the mean and average of all Mother's Days, and for your parents to be married on February 28th, you have to multiply 365.24 squared. That comes out to roughly 133,000. But when you multiply those two numbers together, the names number and the dates number, you come out with a number that's around 1.5 trillion. And again, I would just like to reiterate that's just all name recognition and signs stuff. Numerology. It has nothing to do with about what I know. All right, I think that's good enough for one day. As I started out with earlier, everyone have a great Easter and a great Passover and a great Ramadan. I'll talk to you all later.